Hi, I'm Bree Strohmeyer, and I'm inside Just Food for Dogs in Newport Beach, California. This is the world's first kitchen and nutrition center designed and built exclusively for making fresh, whole food for dogs. The food that's handcrafted here is made from 100% USDA certified ingredients and is much like the food you would make at home if you like to cook for your dogs. However, there is one big difference with the food that's made here, and it's probably something you don't know. Just like humans need to add vitamins and minerals to their diets, so do dogs. Here at Just Food for Dogs, the nutritionists have created special blends of human quality nutrients that they add to all of their recipes, which nutritionally balances the food for your dog and gives them all the vitamins and minerals they'll need for a long, healthy life. The goal here at Just Food for Dogs is to feed as many dogs as possible the best food possible. But the problem is, the kitchen isn't big enough to feed all the dogs that everyone would love to see eating healthy, fresh, balanced nutrition. So the solution? Package the recipe and the special nutrient blends into easy-to-use, do-it-yourself kits. That way, you can make the same recipes that they make here in your kitchen at home.
There are a growing number of people around the country that are beginning to make their own food at home for their dogs. And essentially, that's a great idea.
Currently, we're based in Southern California, so one way to make our diet more available to other parts of the country was to come up with this DIY concept. The DIY concept is essentially all the macro and micronutrients pre-mixed in a sachet that you can then cook the food at home, following our recipe, add some of this mixture, and essentially you have the same diet that we're cooking in our kitchen.
There has to be a balance of these added nutrients to be able to, end up with a final product that the dog can eat every single day for life and have all the nutrients that they need.
There's a science to it, and if you don't know what you're doing, over time you could create deficiencies in vitamins and minerals and essential fatty acids that could hurt your dog.
Whether you buy our food from us, we've made it and we're selling it to you, or you make it yourself through our DIY program, all of the food is balanced to NRC standards.
The NRC are the National Research Council. They are a private organization that reports directly to the FDA, and what they do is they publish information on nutrient profiles for all sorts of species. And so that's what we use to formulate our diets and balance our food.
We're making it as simple as possible by putting this in a pouch. We give you the recipe, the exact weights of all of the ingredients, and a pouch that has the exact amount of nutrients that are needed. There's nothing else that needs to be added to this food to make it balanced.
I believe that we have the best recipes in the world for your dog. Your dog doesn't know whether you make it or we make it. It really doesn't matter. With the DIY powder and in following the instructions and the recipe that we give, literally they're identical.
Given the fact that we're going to cook some homemade food for dogs, I thought it would be appropriate to go to the kitchen where it all started and have Andrea, who helps develop the recipes, show us how it's done. Hi, Simon.
Hi, Bree.
Hey, Andrea. Nice to see you.
You too. Come on in.
Thanks. Andrea, thank you so much for having me over today. I'm really excited to cook in the kitchen and to find out more about the food. Can you tell me just kind of how it all started?
Well, it started when we found out it was in commercial dog food. And once we found out, that we decided that we wanted to figure out a way to feed a whole food diet for our dogs.
So this is this cute little package, but what exactly is in the kit?
Well, let's open it up and find out.
Great.
So inside, here we have the cooking guide for the beef and potato recipe, which gives us all the ingredients and how to cook them. And we have 3 packets of a supplement blend.
And Just Food for Dogs worked with a nutritionist to make sure that you're getting the nutrition that a dog needs, because obviously it's very different than what a human needs.
Yeah, that's right. We have a vet and a formulator who fine-tune our recipes.
We have 5 different daily diets, and therefore we have 5 different DIY formulations. Each DIY formulation is specific for a certain daily diet. The reason for this is because each daily recipe, each of our daily diets has a different protein source, a different carb source. It's specifically formulated and balanced with those ingredients in mind.
Okay, I got the package in my mail and I'm super excited to cook for my dog, but I'm not a chef and my kitchen It's perfectly stocked with stuff, so what do I need to have already on hand?
It's pretty simple. You don't need to be a chef to be able to cook this. All you need is a pot, a pan, a spatula, and that's pretty much it.
And as far as the time, the prep that I'm going to have to put into, how much time am I looking at?
It's probably going to be about an hour to an hour and a half. And the entire kit makes about 30 pounds of food. So each one of these packets is roughly 10 pounds of food.
What kind of price point am I looking at?
Well, the supplements cost about 60 cents per pound of cooked food. And then the food ingredients are exactly what you would purchase for your family for cooking at home.
It's the cost of doing your animals right.
They're worth it.
Exactly. Well, this sounds like it's going to be pretty easy. What do we need to do first?
We'll start at the market.
I like to shop.
All of the ingredients that make up our recipes are easily found at a local grocery store.
Cooking these recipes for your dog is not much different than cooking for your family. It's all food that you and I would normally eat anyway.
This is fresh, whole food that's very, very healthy for your dog. And it's fairly simple to make, in part because you don't season it. You don't have to be a chef.
Making your dog's food is a lot of fun. You know exactly what's going into your dog's nutrition, and you know that you're giving the absolute best nutrition possible to your dog.
We just came back from the market and we have all of these ingredients in front of us. We followed, of course, the guide that was in the kit to tell us what to buy. So what did we buy?
Well, we have our ground beef, which is an 85-15 blend. We have beef liver. We are a single source protein recipe, so that means in the beef we have a beef liver. In our chicken, we have chicken liver, lamb liver, and so on.
Great. And then over here we have all of the fruits and the vegetables.
Yep, we have russet potatoes and sweet potatoes.
And green beans.
You got it. We've got carrot. We have an apple.
And then I see peas, but they look like they might be frozen peas. Are we cheating?
No, we're not. We try to get fresh whenever possible.
Okay.
But when we can't, if you do frozen, you want to make sure that there's no seasonings. You want no butter, salt, pepper, any other seasonings at all.
Except I do see a little bit of oil on the table.
That is actually safflower oil that we add to it after everything is all cooked.
Okay. And then of course, the wonderful do-it-yourself kit. There's only one on the table, but there was 3 in the package. So how much food are we making?
Each packet makes about 10 pounds of food. So everything that you see right here is going to make roughly 10 pounds.
Okay. What do we do now?
Now we chop.
All right.
When you're starting off the process of cooking, prepping all the ingredients would be the best way to start.
We should wash everything, right?
That's right. You want to make sure that all your fruits and vegetables are clean before you start to chop.
All right, Andrea, so we have a scale in front of us and we're going to weigh all of the ingredients, right?
Well, it's going to give us the exact portion size that we need for each ingredient for the recipes.
It takes the guesswork out of making the right portion.
That's right. All of the fruits and vegetables in our recipes are left with the skin on. When you're cutting the vegetables, cut them to suit your dog's size. So if you have a large dog, you can cut them in larger pieces. If you have a small dog, you want to dice them pretty finely.
I have a really little dog, a 5-pound Yorkie, so his bites need to be pretty small. Could I even go a step further and maybe do it in the food processor?
You can absolutely do it in the food processor.
Every recipe is going to be a little bit different, but prepped pretty much the same way.
Yes, exactly. The fish is the only one that has to go into the oven.
All of these steps will, again, be in the pamphlet inside the do-it-yourself.
That's right, everything's in there.
We've cut all the potatoes and all the sweet potatoes, and now we've placed them in the pot because we're going to start cooking those before we cook everything else.
What we do is we put them in the cold water, and then we'll start the boiling. Okay, Ray, it's your turn. You want to give it a try?
Okay, I forewarned everybody my kitchen or chopping skills are not that great, but this is a recipe that everybody can do, so I better try.
Watch your fingers. The apples, we also want to leave the skin on and we want to core them, but most importantly we want to make sure that there are no seeds left in those apples. The seeds can be highly toxic to dogs.
Should we have chopped the peas?
That depends on your dog. So if
Okay.
your dog is smaller or will spit out the peas, then yes, you can chop them up. And
Oh,
again, you can
no.
put them in the
It sounds
food
like a
processor.
little kid spitting out peas. Now it's meat time.
This is the ground beef, and obviously because it's ground, we don't have to do anything to it.
Okay.
The liver, as you can see, it's just in its original form. So I want to chop it. You can, however, ask the butcher to grind it for you.
What's particularly important about the liver?
The liver contains a high amount of iron. We try to get as much of the nutrients we can from our ingredients, and this gives us a great amount of iron.
Right.
Everything's all chopped and ready to go. When you're cooking any one of these recipes, with the exception of the fish, we're going to start cooking the meat and the livers. All of the proteins are going to go in the pan at once, in a dry pan, over a medium-high heat. We don't add the oil until everything is fully cooked.
This looks like it's starting to cook up pretty well. Am I going to stand here and let it cook all the way through before I start adding stuff?
When you're about halfway through and it's still pink, you're going to add all of the vegetables and the fruits. The beef is ready to have the vegetables and the apple added, so I'm going to just put that in there right now and let you mix it up.
Let's mix it in.
All right.
I'm getting this cooking thing down.
Yeah, you're good at it.
Ready. Looks really good.
And you're going to mix all of that together and continue cooking until the meat is cooked and all the vegetables are soft. The fat that's being rendered from the cooking process we want to keep. We're not going to drain the meat.
And they'll love that.
They're going to love it.
We'll make sure everything is cooled off, and then it's time to add the potatoes.
One thing that we want to make sure is that everything is cooled to room temperature.
And why do we want to do that?
When we add the supplements, some of the supplements are heat sensitive.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that they stay as potent as they need to be.
That's good to know.
We're going to mix in the 5 tablespoons of safflower oil, so I'm just going to add that as well.
And you add that now.
That's right. We're going to mix in the supplements now. I'm going to start sprinkling it in on top of the food as I mix it in.
The nutrients that you're adding, are they human quality?
All of the ingredients are fit for human consumption, so they're all human grade.
Gotta be strong to do this one. We're all done, and hey, it even looks just like the picture in the brochure, so we must have done it right. Now it's time to portion it out and freeze some of it. Because there are no preservatives in this food, the food should last about 5 or 6 days. The exception to this would be the fish. That's going to last maybe about 3 days.
You can make it 1, 2, or 3 times a month and package it into meal-size Ziploc bags and freeze it and simply pull it out of the freezer as you need it. Let it thaw out in the refrigerator, put it in their bowl, so it kind of goes freezer, refrigerator, bowl, freezer, refrigerator, bowl. It becomes a routine that's actually very simple.
Okay, so we're just going to portion this out for a day's serving, which is 1 cup.
For my dog.
For your dog, right. And this is 1 day serving for your little Leo.
Perfect. And of course, if you have a bigger dog, you just portion out the right amount. And that's in the...
That's right. There's a serving guideline right here. It's actually on the back right there, and it's going to tell you exactly how much to feed your dog for your dog's body weight.
All right, I've got 3 anxious dogs ready to eat this. Rainbow, Leo, and Simon, and their tails are wagging, their tongues are out. What's the last step?
The last step is to serve.
They couldn't be more ready.
I've been waiting oh so long for my favorite.
Okay, so there you have it. Shop, chop, cook, mix, package, serve. It's really that easy. And if you'd like to get your own do-it-yourself kit, you can shop online, visit the store, or give them a call. I'm Bree. Thanks for watching.
For my favorite